what it is with Coker officially all the way through that led to this. So
we should ask Ray, see if Ray knows.
There's not that
common connection. You think Ray knows what happened to Marcus Coker?
Ray has no idea.
Are you sure?
Positive.
You think Ray knows what happened to McCall? I think he might.
No idea.
I think Ray might have some insight on that. But when it comes to Marcus Coker, who had the green light, according to Gary Barta, to return. Okay? What was that?
Just checking to see if Ross was okay.
Why?
I'm just waiting.
For what?
The phone
to ring? When it comes to a guy like Marcus Coker, who apparently had the green light under Gary Barta, we can assume that, correct? That if he wanted to come back, he probably could have come back, because Gary Barta said as much at the Insight Bowl. So I think we know that the door was open for Marcus Coker to return to the Iowa football team, even though he was suspended for the bowl game. But I think this speaks volumes.
Well, can I just jump in real quick on that? I think, and remember, he wasn't suspended from the athletic side of things. It was a university code of conduct.
Yeah, but that suspended him from the bowl game.
Right. So I'm saying that potentially he had a green light if it was okay through the university. The athletic department didn't have a problem with him coming back. There still could have been questions as far as the university.
See, the way I interpreted Barta's comments were that things were going to be fine. That's the way I interpreted it.
See, I didn't see it that same way. Because it wasn't, if you remember Kirk Ferentz's quote about the Marcus Coker and the suspension, it was that he'll live with the decision. It wasn't that it was his decision, it was a decision from elsewhere that was made to suspend Coker for the bowl game.
284-5966. Let's go to Ray.
It's like calling Beetlejuice, isn't it?
It is Beetlejuice. Ray. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning.
Can you shed any light on this?
Well, I was reading Mark Hansen had a blog on the Registry yesterday. It said there was a police report for assault against Marcus Coker.
It took this long to come out? Because people were looking for that.
It was the night before the Minnesota game.
Yeah, it was finally that there's a police report. Whether or not that's what led to the incident, at least he was mentioned. There were no charges, so that's why it was a little bit harder to find. You had to actually file. They filed an Open Records Act that they can now find him in a report, because a report isn't something that's just out there that you can go easily search.
But I have a hard time believing that led to the suspension, because let's be honest. If there's no charges filed, then there's no court case. Now, I don't know what that would do as far as the academic and the university side. I can see you get in trouble on the athletic side for being in a fight, but if there's no charges filed, there may be a police report, but there's plenty of reports out there that don't lead to anything.
Well, it said there was an assault charge filed. I'm sure it was fueled by alcohol, like most of the Hawkeyes when they get in bar fights.
All right. I thought you could shed some light on it there, Ray.
Apparently he's got nothing.
Daniel,
I didn't think he would have anything. Anything else doesn't say that Ray would. There was any connection as far as drugs with either one of these two.
Daniel, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hey, so I ain't talking about any drug problems or nothing, but you're talking about how Iowa has.
He just took a long way to get there. It said at the beginning it may have sounded like that, but he was actually giving Coach Ferentz a compliment. He was ripping the fact that some of these guys are prima donnas. Now, Fish is right, 100% correct. I mean, he really hasn't changed, and once you start to change, you change your culture. And
I just wanted to say the article about the investigation was about an assault at Coker's residence. Yes, Coker was questioned about it. Was the assault about Coker? No, it was an investigation of an assault at Coker's residence. So I just wanted to clear that up, because somebody could have taken what Stoner Ray said and gone, "Oh my gosh, another guy's getting investigated."
He's lasted his long.
I just wanted to clear that up, because somebody could have taken what Stoner Ray said and gone, "Oh my gosh, another guy's getting investigated for assault." But
you know what I like is that our callers now are calling him Stoner Ray.
Yeah.
Well, he goes by that himself, so.
Yeah.
To a point, but he's consistent with his leniency.
And
I
think there is a line that gets crossed where there is a point of no return with.
Yes, but I think it's a more lenient line than other people would have.
What can we do for you, Eric?
Well, I just wanted to tell you guys when Stoner A called, I just wanted to say the article about the investigation was about an assault at Coker's residence. Yes, Coker was questioned about it. Was the assault about Coker? No, it was an investigation of an assault at Coker's residence. So I just wanted to clear that up because somebody could have taken what Stoner A said and gone, oh my gosh, another guy getting investigated for assault. But
you know what I like is that our callers now are calling him Stoner, right?
yeah, well,
he goes by that himself. So
yeah, but I also wanted to say yesterday, guys, McCall put on his Facebook that he felt it was silly he's being punished.
Miserable. Hey, should you have to take a drug test to collect some welfare benefits? I thought pretty much everybody agreed that was a great idea, except, wouldn't you know that the minute I say that, somebody calls named Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Hey, how you doing?
Living it up. You?
Good.
You don't like this idea?
Well, I think it's bad for a lot of reasons. Number one is the cost. Drug tests aren't cheap, and the cost of drug testing all these people is probably going to cost more than it'll save. If you might get a few people that are going to test dirty, it's not going to be that many. I mean, the states that have been doing it, hardly anybody's testing positive because they know they have to take a drug test, so they prepare for it. And the other thing is too is these drug tests, they don't test for alcohol, tobacco, so what's that going to lead to? If you're getting food stamps, will the authorities be able to come look in your house, see if there's beer in your fridge, or
okay.
You got a lot of people too that might be on welfare or food stamps, and they're blowing all their money out of Prairie Meadows, and then also then you can go to the thing where they're receiving taxpayer money, so they're getting drug tests. So it would only be fair to start, drug testing our lawmakers. They're paid with taxpayer money.
Well, we should be doing that anyway because I think that would cut down on some silly laws to begin with. I mean,
right.
The only way that some of these laws get passed is these guys have to be going in there a little bit tipsy, right?
You wonder. Well, just go down the doozies after.
I don't know. I haven't sat in on a session, but I guess there's got to be like a Foster Brooks type character in there going, this is whatever. This looks good. This looks good. I haven't signed anything in weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Just put a bill in front of me. I got a sign. I got a pen here with a lot of ink.
Right.
You make great points, Jamie, and of course with any program, there's going to be problems. What I hate about anything that we do is that there's always going to be some people that fall through the cracks. You will have innocent, for lack of a better term, victims, and maybe the best word for it, that are hurt by a policy. By the same token, some of our very generous welfare benefits have hurt a lot of people as well by making them reliant upon government. Governments now become their mommy and daddy. They lose their own level of self-reliance, and in a way, the sinister thing to that is we have stolen not only their future, but future contributions they may have made to society by making them dependent. And I get upset when I think that there are politicians there, maybe it's not the guys that are gooder, I don't know, but politicians that look at them and say, if I create a dependent class, I will always have a vote, and I pretty much don't care about these people. That is where I get a little bit...
No, you're right about that. I think instead of spending all this money on drug tests and that, because like I said, they're not using this awful lot of money to drug test all these people. I think set a limit on how long you can.
Hey, let's just outsource the drug testing to China. You see, come to me. I am your clearinghouse for solutions. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Ray, I got to be pretty quick, but you have some information that might be useful to the listener here.
Yeah, I actually have some to agree with the previous caller. They did this down in Florida. 1% of people failed the test, and they had to pay the $40 themselves to take the test.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
now, how
they
frequently
really should test for alcohol and cigarettes. You know why?
Go ahead.
Because the government wants you to use those products because it's population control of the poor. And if you're on unemployment, what are you going to do? You're going to sit around and drink beer and smoke cigarettes and slowly die.
Ray,
Make
that's
it legal,
not...
make
Ray,
it
wait.
green, make it now.
Ray, that can't possibly be true, because if the government really wanted us to, use alcohol and tobacco, they'd put it in places like casinos and make it legal. Huh. Wait a second. Hey, Ray might have had a point there. And you know something? He lost a lot of points just for hanging up on me. I think he clicked me. He did. Anyway, hey Ray, thanks for being quick. We're going to cut out to do a little bit of traffic. We got a couple of great calls. Don, Paul, Frank, and Dave are waiting to weigh in. We'll get to that in just a moment. It's Patrick Albany's News Radio 1040 WHO. Stream.
The military, it looks like she's going to apply her influence to some military ethics. I think that's really kind of cool. But anyway, it says here there was a study that's just been released that says apparently smoking marijuana does not do lung damage, does not do any damage to the lung function. That story, that headline, making news all week this week, and potheads all over the place are saying, see, it's not really bad for you. And then I started reading the article, and it said that smoking a joint once a week doesn't harm the lungs. Once a week? One joint once a week? Now, see, I don't know any serious potheads on a personal basis, but on the basis, I'm going to just ask you guys this question. If you know marijuana smokers for whom this is, a habit on an individual basis, how many of them do you figure confine their marijuana use to one joint a week? Ross, what's your intuition there? What do you figure? Once a week? Because I know you know a lot more.
I love it when you bring
more criminals
me in like
than I
this.
do.
It's great.
Once a week? Are you kidding me? Once an hour? Once twice a day? 3 times a day? What? I don't know. I have no clue.
Well,
what's your guesstimate?
I guess this is my guesstimate.
Okay.
Isn't there some sort of study out there that talks about drinking wine? Like a glass of a red wine every couple days can be actually
it's beneficial to your heart.
Yeah, not only is it not bad, it's actually beneficial.
Yes.
Well, couldn't you apply the same logic to that? I mean, couldn't you just say, well, how many people that drink wine could confine themselves to doing that? Well,
early next month. I know the Major League umpires are having their meetings right now in Phoenix, so they're down in Arizona for their yearly meeting. So that's going on right now. Fantasy baseball just around the corner. And a trade in our league yesterday.
You had a trade yesterday?
Yeah, off-season trades.
Nice. Ray, good morning. You're on 1460 KXNO. How you doing, sir?
Oh, doing wonderful. Yeah, I did a lot of bumper sliding back in the day on the
I
south
bet
side.
you did.
Yeah, we'd get the bus after get off the school bus to Dowling and then bumper slide on that.
Nice.
But, I got a Girl Scout cookie story for you.
Okay.
Well, hold on. We're not going to have enough time, I don't think, for this.
We got a minute, don't we?
Well, you know what? This girlfriend hooked me up on a box of them, and I stashed them for my kid. They're so damn good. I got a box of Caramel Delights and a box of Thin Mints.
All right.
$3.50 a box. She hooked me up.
That's good.
60. I told her to bring me 50 and a half a gallon of milk.
All right, Ray. We'll see you later.
Ray, thanks.
Oh, yes. Girl Scout cookies for sale. We got a Fisher Girl Scout cookie story when we come back.
Week. Ross, what's your intuition there? What do you figure? Once a week? Because I know you know a lot more.
I love it when you bring me in
criminals
like
than I
this.
do.
It's great.
Once a week? Are you kidding me? Once an hour? Once twice a day? 3 times a day? What? I don't know. I have no clue.
Well,
what's your guesstimate?
I guess this is my guesstimate.
Okay.
Isn't there some sort of study out there that talks about drinking wine? Like a glass of a red wine every couple days can be actually
beneficial to your heart.
Yeah, not only is it not bad, it's actually beneficial.
Yes.
Well, couldn't you apply the same logic to that? I mean, couldn't you just say, well, how many people that drink wine could confine themselves to doing that? Well, I would assume that the people that have self-control can do that. The people that don't have self-control and can't control it
Oh well, okay, but drinking
they
wine.
won't.
Okay, but drinking wine with a meal, for instance, is a cultural thing, and people drink one glass of wine. That's all there is. People, if you are a wino and your whole idea of drinking wine is to get drunk,
And I think that the same probably applies to marijuana, Jan, where you have people that can't control the urge. They're the winos of the group. There's no way they're going to restrict it to one time a week.
well, I just have to ask the question: does anybody smoke dope not to get high? I mean, isn't the whole purpose of smoking marijuana in order to be stoned? Nobody just.
Well, I don't know. It's the same. I would say it's the same thing with wine drinkers. If you're going to put a blanket statement on, well, everybody that smokes pot falls into this category, then you could do this. I mean, it's absurd. I think it's kind of maybe even short-sighted.
Well, I'm not sure in what way, because
not everybody that smokes pot is going to smoke pot every day.
I understand
all the time.
that, but if you're going to smoke pot, wouldn't you smoke it in order to get stoned?
Instead of getting stoned, say relax, and can't you say the same thing about a glass of wine?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, wouldn't you say that people that drink a glass of wine just are drinking a glass of wine to relax?
You
wouldn't say they're doing it to get drunk.
Yes, I think that's accurate. So,
which is accurate? That they're drinking wine to relax.
You're drinking wine as part of the social,
and
part of the meal.
You would say there's a certain percentage of wine drinkers that are just drinking that glass of wine to relax.
Yes,
I would say that the same thing would apply to marijuana then. That there is a certain class of people that use marijuana to relax. Maybe do it once a week.
Okay.
Maybe less, maybe a little more. Then there is the class of people that are the wino group that can't control it.
But even relax isn't in order for marijuana to have the effect of relaxing you. Doesn't that by definition the only thing it can do is make you stoned? I mean, are there varying degrees in stoned? I have no idea.
I don't either. But I'm just applying the same thing across.
Maybe we should call one of your friends.
Yeah, I'm just applying the same thing across the board.
Okay.
That there's going to be people that don't control their wine drinking too.
Well, I guess the question I had about the validity of the study, though, smoking a joint a week doesn't harm your lung function. But I'm just wondering how many people who are, number one, doing something illegal and so motivated that they would only do that once a week. I don't know the answer to that question. So I'm going to just ask all of my pothead listeners to all these. Maybe Johnny Reeferseed is out there and he'll give us a call. Sorry, there he is. So anyway, the question is, the headline says marijuana doesn't harm lung function, but they're talking about one joint a week. All right, so let's talk to some folks here, and this is Johnny. Good morning, John.
Hey, Jan, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Well, you said you personally didn't know any potheads. But,
well, apparently I know you, so that's a lie. I apologize.
You even threw a buck to my guitar case.
Yes, I do. You're a really great musician.
Thank you. But Ross is right. It's just like some people might have a glass of wine once a week or a beer or whatever after work, and then you've got the ones that drink a case of beer a day. It's about the same thing with marijuana or even cheeseburgers. If you, having a couple cheeseburgers a week won't hurt you, but if you eat 10 a day,
All right.
Heart attack.
So marijuana doesn't harm lung function if they confine it to one joint a week. Is that an honest report?
Well, I don't know. There's actually been studies that the ones I've seen say that, if you just smoke marijuana and you don't smoke cigarettes, you really don't have a problem, but because it's marijuana, opens up the capillaries or whatever in your lungs.
Right.
If you do both, then it doubles the cigarette damage. But and cannabis has also been known to reduce cancer tumors. So it might be preventative.
Okay.
But it's just like anything with any kind of studies. You can make a study say whatever you want it to, pretty much.
Do you figure? Yeah, I agree with that. So I'm just wondering what the biases of the report were.
Well, I don't know. I guess you got to follow the money and who did the report, but, look at a guy like Willie Nelson.
Yes, you would consider him to be your poster boy of function?
Right, yeah. I mean, the guy's been smoking for over 50 years on a pretty steady basis. And,
yes, okay.
Pretty healthy for, being 75, 76.
Okay, good point. Hey, thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it, sir.
Thanks, Dan.
You bet. Now, if you could, told me that smoking marijuana would grow hair, I'm down with that. This is Francesca. Good morning, Francesca.
Yeah, good morning, Jan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. Francesca?